Hello, everybody. Sorry for the delay. It looks my internet, my PC was acting up for a little bit. It's better now. How you guys doing? Just want to make sure that everyone in the chat can hear me. All right, good. I see on my end everything looks pretty fine. Mic audio's coming in as well, so that's good. Alrighty. So, how's everyone doing on Canada Day? I probably should. So, all right. Can everyone hear me just fine? I just want to make sure. Because if we're fine, we'll start. We'll get rolling here. I just want to make sure chat hears me just fine. Okay, I think we're good. So let's go. I got some info from our stat team for our first game, which is prime time number 2 between Providence and Vancouver. So let's get into this game. All right. We have a couple players to watch. We got for Providence, we have Grail Traveler who's first in the league for batting average, singles, and on base percentage. He's also tied for the league lead in doubles. Hirashikash, Akshay Hirashikash. I always fumble this name. I'll just refer you to as Akshay. He's first in team batting average, RBIs, and WAR. For the pitching matchup, we have Krabby Cracker Pebbles, who is an 11-4 record. He's not giving up a lot of walks. He's fifth in the Legends Conference with 154 strikeouts. For the Vandals, they'll be bringing up Valor to the mound with a 5-8 record. He's struggled a little bit this season with a 3.91 ERA. He's struggling a little bit. He doesn't get a lot of run support. We have an ending of a series on stream with the number one in the Legends Conference visiting an in-conference rival with the Vandals for Game 2. Providence won the first game of the series 7-4 and will look to sweep the series here with a win. On the other hand, Vancouver wants to rain on their parade before heading back on the road. Let's compare the team's batting lineup. Providence batting lineup is one of the most elite batting lineups in the PBE right now. Their batting average is first in the league with a 295 compared to Vancouver's 251. They also score second in the league with home runs 127 compared to Vancouver's 81. You can't look at those types of numbers without thinking of their player to watch this game. Left fielder Grail Traveler. Traveler continues to have an awesome season representing Providence well at the top of the leaderboards. Vancouver's not with their own answer with Akshay Hirashikash will need to be at his best to get Vancouver in a spot to do what they do best. Steal bases. Vancouver has 195 stolen bases, which is second in the league. Pierre Phillips leads the team in stolen base with 76, or Pierre Phillip. It's misspelled, so who's from the Legends Conference. As I've already mentioned the pitching, let's talk about the fielding real quick. They have 65, Providence has 65 double plays compared to Vancouver 56. They also have 7 less errors compared to Vancouver. However, Vancouver's fielding is no pushover. They have 55 more putouts than Providence. I forgot to mention, Vancouver's first in PO with 2 putouts with 2442. Which is Vancouver's. That's all first. They're also third in zone rating with a plus 22.1. So let's take a look. Do we have any predictions? We do have a prediction up. The rare time that we actually do have one when I'm streaming. And we have the prediction being, will the first game have more than 12 runs? So I'm going to let that be up there for a little bit. So we got a plus. Will we have 12 or more runs? Thank you so much to the mods for helping me out. So without further ado, This matchup looks pretty favorable for Providence, but let's see if they can hold on. All right, Providence, Vancouver. And by the way, I don't show box scores. I just send them to the locker room. Okay, here we go. Providence and Vancouver. We start off with Paulo Zaleski, who's going to ground it to third. That's going to be for a quick little out. Up next is Grail Traveler, the player to watch. He's going to get a base hit that goes over the shortstop's head. Next up, we got Beryl Summers coming up here, facing a 3-1 count, and she's going to draw a walk. Seymour Bolt's coming up here with a two runners on, and that's going to be a base hit that drops in front of the right fielder. They're not going to send the runner, so the Crabs got bases loaded, one out for Miggs Manfield coming up here. And that's going to get down for a base hit. Get over. That's going to, two runs are going to score. They're setting a third. It's a bases clearing double for Miggs Mayfield that gives the Crabs an early 3-0 lead. So maybe that over's a good idea as Hurricane's going to strike out here. Here's the hot-hitting JD Pants, who's going to strike out here. So that maybe that over's looking pretty good right now. Let's see how Vancouver responds with Pierre Phillip. He's going to get a base hit that drops in front of the right fielder. So it's good to get your base stealer on up early. Ashton Lansdell. Phillip's going to easily take second. Saved by a mile. Back to the same bet. And Lansdell's going to draw a walk. So already. And here's Harris Cash. And he's going to take a called strike free. McLovin Jr. He's going to draw a full count walk. So same situation as the top. We have bases loaded, one out here for Atlas Slugs. 3-1 pitch. He's going to swing. He's going to ground into a double play. And that is going to be a wrist fail for the Vandals. Fly ball to right for Boys to Chest back again for the first out. Here's the Colding Taiga Sajima, who's going to swing. A drop strike free, but gets the out there. Back to the top of the order with Zaleski, who line drive. Just a great play by the first baseman to get him in. All right, back to Vandals with my least favorite name to say, John Francois John Jr., who strikes out here. And we have Jet Fuel. I don't like these names. I really don't. Who is just barely unable to beat the throw. And here's Steven Strange. Just going to strike out here. So 1-2 inning for the Vandals. All right, back to the Crabs with Grail Traveler, who's going to ground out the third to start the inning off. Beryl Summers, towering pop-up, caught in foul territory by the third baseman for the second out. Seymour Bolt's coming up here. He's going to draw a 4-pitch walk. And here's the hot hitting Miggs Mayfield. That's a fly ball to left. Not going to hit well, but not deep enough. That's going to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the third with Jared Kiso, who's going to ground out to the second baseman to start us off. Back to the top of the order with Pierre Phillip, who's going to line it to the second baseman. That's going to be the second out. Back to Lansdell, who's going to strike out here. 4 strikeouts for Krabby Pebbles. Back to the Crabs with Hurricane, who's going to draw a full count walk. JD Pants, hot hitter. And once again, Forlore gets him. Boys to Chest back again is going to strike out as well. So that's 5 Ks for Forlore. And it's Sajima, who is going to draw, the cold 9-hitter is going to draw a full count walk. Top of the order was Zaleski. Fly ball to left. It's not going to get down. That's going to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Harris Cash is going to fly at the left. McLovin Jr. Full count. He's going to swing and ground out to the first baseman. Here's Atlas Slugs. Fly ball to center. He had a hustle there to get there. Gets the out. We go top of the fifth with Grail Traveler, who's going to strike out here for Forlore's 6K of the game. Here's Beryl Summers. Also a strikeout victim. 7 Ks for Forlore. Seymour Bolts. Not going to strike out the side, but ground out to the second baseman to end the inning. Bottom fifth we go. John Francois John Jr. is going to get himself a stand-up double. I say the full name now before you guys ask. Jet Fuel is going to ground out. Jet Fuel, as I call it. Okay. It's going to ground out to. Out. Ground ball there for straight, but it's going to be booted there by the second baseman. Going to be ruled an error. So they got runners on the corners with one out for Jared Kiso. Strange is going to steal second. So excellent base running there to stop to prevent a possible double play. Kikiso's driving their first runs. Nope, he's going to strike out the Krabby Pebbles. Pierre Phillip. Towering fly ball caught in foul territory. So the Vandals get runners on second and third and they're unable to score. We go top of the sixth. Back to Mayfield, who gets a base hit past the diving third baseman. Hurricane. He's going to draw a full count walk. Valor's not having a lot of good luck with those full count walks today. And they are going to pull him for Holy Sheet, who is now in the bullpen. He gets the out. She gets the out at second, but is unable to relay the double play. So back with chest back again. And the Crabs are surely are going to make them pay, and they do. It's an RBI double that makes it 4-0. Sajima gets a little looper ground ball, unable to produce the run, so 2 outs. Top of the over, Zaleski. Grounded to second. They get into first in time. We go bottom 6 with a 4-0 Crabs lead. Lansdale, diving grab there, but he can't get the throw. It's going to be an infield hit for Ashton Lansdale. Harris Cash, and that's a pass ball. That's going to be move Lansdale to second. And problems for Pebbles here as Harris Cash is going to draw a walk. Here's McLovin Jr. That's trouble. And it is going to drop down for a base hit. And it is going to score 1. So the Vandals are back in this game. See a lot of Crabs fans in the chat. Atlas Slugs is going to ground into a force out at second. John Francois John Jr. Unproductive out. They're going to get the out at home. So a fielder's choice there. And Jet Fuel is going to come up here and is going to draw a walk. So the Vandals have a chance to possibly take the lead here with Steven Strange coming up to bat. It's going to get down. 1 run's in. 2 runs are going to score. And this game is tied. It's a bases clearing double. I'm not sure what Grail Traveler was doing there in left field, but I guess you got lost in the lights. As Kiso is going to ground out to the pitcher, but not before the Vandals tie this up at 4. Also, keeping your eye on here with the as Grail Traveler flies out the center. We're watching closely if we get 12 or more runs. That's the bet we're looking at here. Beryl Summers, full count. It's going to ground Hopper to third, but gets the out there. Seymour Bolts, full count. It's going to be a little dribbler to the pitcher. They get the out there as we hit to the stretch in Vancouver. Oh, it's how fitting we start with a Canadian team. Here's Pierre Phillip going to ground out here. It's kind of fitting we start with one of our two Canadian teams to start off Canada Day stream. Lansdale's going to strike out here to Krabby Pebbles, who is still in for the 7th. They are going to take him out for Randy Colon for Hurricane, and not a good start as he's going to get a base hit here. McLovin Jr. is going to strike out here. So we go top of the 8th, still deadlocked at 4, with the hot-hitting Miggs Mayfield against Holy Sheet. And Sheet's going to get Mayfield swinging here. Hurricane coming up next. That's a fly ball to right, but easily grabbed there by Phillip. JD Pants, hot hitter. It's a fly ball, easily caught there in left field by Fuel. So we go bottom 8th. Can the Vandals take the lead here? With Atlas Slugs. It's going to strike out here. John Francois John Jr. is going to ground out to short. And here's Jet Fuel. That's hard hit to center, but easily tracked there by Boys to Chest back again. We go top 9th, deadlocked at 9. And speaking of Boys to Chest back again, he strikes out a full count as new pitcher Jackson Kidd gets him there. Here's Taiga Sajima, and Sajima's going to get a base hit. Drops right in front of the right fielder. Zaleski coming up here. Going to draw a 4-pitch walk. Here's Grail Traveler. Line drive. Oh, past the diving left fielder. One runs in. Are they going to get him at third? They get the double to take the lead, but Traveler gets caught being greedy and gets thrown out at third. So the Crabs have the lead as Beryl Summers is going to take a check swing. It doesn't go, so it's a walk. Simmer bolts. Oh, what the heck was Vancouver's defense doing there? Did they fall asleep or something? Because it puts Summers first to third. Mayfeld. Fly ball to center, not going to be deep enough. So last chance here for the Vandals. And for anybody betting the over. They would want this game to be tied with Stephen Strange coming up here. And not a good start to ground out to third. Maybe. He was probably asleep. Kiso grounds out to the shortstop. Last chance here. Pierre Phillip. Will it be the under? And do we keep going? Nope, caught in right field. That's going to end it. The Crabs pick up the win in primetime number 2, 6-4. And the under ends up being the winner of this bet. All right, pretty good game here. A couple big days. Free RBI day for Stephen Strange. Mixed Mayfield might be player of the game. 2 for 5 free RBI day. And no, it's going to go to Krabby Pebbles. Okay, I'm going to show off some box scores before I send them to the locker room. Of course, I got to save first. Aviators pick up the win over the Sloths. Surge pick up the win over the Pathfinders. New York 9-4 winners. Sorry, Lone Star. Looks like you lost again. New Orleans beats Detroit. Seattle walks it off. Does Indy not like Umas or something? Because looks like you got destroyed by my beloved Nashville Stars pick up a 9-3, a huge win in Cancun. We'd love to see that. Sorry, announcer bias. Death Valley 6-1 winners against Linder Base. Let's go to the Miners. Dillo's 3-1 winners against the Hep Kitties. Swifties pick up the win on the road in Bruce City. Kingpins pick up the win against the Mingos. Wheelers beat the Rondas. I don't think the Rondas are bots anymore, right? Because it looks like they got. And the Firehawks pick up the win over the Lemurs. Okay, so. I need to remember how I do this. I need to make sure how I do. I'm going to just pull this up real quick. I'm going to have to. Every time I need to teach myself how to do the box score pusher. Game settings. You are not seeing the password. The password's for the privileged. Database tools. Configure data export to CSV files. All right, that's good. Same drop down database tools. Export data to CSV files. Okay, so now I am now going to send the box scores over. The recap sender. Here they come. Just going to wait to make sure that you guys got them. So let's go to world scores. All right. Just want to make sure that it went off properly. Did you guys get the box score for 8/22 for August 22nd? If you guys want to confirm with me that you got it, then we're good to go. Okay, thank you. It worked. So let's finish today. It's an off day. So let's take a look at my. Next up, we got Anchorage and Amarillo. So let's finish today. Save the game. Anchorage, Amarillo. That's what we're looking for. Hang on. So let's go to here. And we have another prediction up. Saying, will there be more than 3 errors totaled for this game? That's the stat we're going to keep your eye on for this one. The matchup heavily leaning towards the Dillos. I'm going to be back. I'm going to just take a quick few minute break to finish up this salad I'm eating because I don't want to eat on stream. Also, Wildcat Bandit, thank you for the subscription. 36 months. Thank you so much. All right, we're back. Just want to make sure y'all still with me. Any Toronto Maple Leaf fans in the chat? Looks like you have a new goaltender. Sergei Bobrovsky is going to the Leafs. But we're not here to talk about hockey. We're here to talk about sim baseball. So let's get underway for game number 2 of our stream games. Here we go. Dillos versus Wheelers. We start with Rex Jordan, who's going to ground out to third to start us off. Robin Banks, towering pop up, going to be caught there by the third baseman. DB Barnum, he's going to ground out to third. Bottom first, we go with Tony DeVecchio, who's going to get a base hit here. Ben Martin, who's in the chat, unfortunately, you take a called strike free. Dominion to go, also takes a called strike free. Jennifer Park, fly ball to center, it's going to get caught. For some reason, looks like the game audio disappeared, but that's fine. Keon Lenedy is going to ground out. No, walk, actually. What am I doing? Misty Morning is going to get a single that gets Ken Lenedy to third. Oh, here's the audio back. Chris Cash Jr. strikes it. And Jimmy Sachs fly ball to center. Diving grab, but Lenedy's gonna score to give the Wheelers an early lead. Hannibal Kingslayer is gonna ground out to first, and that ends the top of the second. Bottom second, we go with Cillian O'Reilly, who's gonna ground out to second. We're keeping your eye on the errors. Wacko Warner, fly ball to right, is gonna get caught. Tony Sims Jr. It's going to be a fly ball. It's caught in center. All right, top of the third, we go with Killian DeBlow, new player name. I've not seen this one before. Top of the order with Rex Jordan. 3-1 count. He's going to draw a walk. Robin Banks. It's going to potentially, this could be two. Nope, this is just a forced fielder's choice at second. D.B. Barnum hammered the laser to left, but straight to the fielder. All right, bottom third we go with Gary Love, who's going to get a base hit that drops in front of the right field. On your left, coming up next, who's going to draw a walk? Tony DeVecchio. And that's going to load the bases. Unless they send Love, they won't. And here's Ben Martin. Bases loaded. Bats hit deep. And kiss that baby goodbye for Ben Martin. We got ourselves a grand salami, folks. The moment I jinx somebody on stream, they do something crazy. And, well, that just happened. 4-1 Amarillo. Dominion to Goat. It's going to draw a walk. Damra's running into some problems here. Jennifer Park. And that's going to be another base hit. Yeah. Someone needs to pay him a visit. Cillian O'Reilly. But they do get a double play, though, which is huge. But it's only 2 outs. Wacko Warner. Drop strike 3. Oh, they can't get the runner at home. He's safe and gets it and scores on the drop strikeout. Tony Sims Jr. is going to ground it. That ends a wild 5-run inning for the Dillos. Top of the fourth with Lenedy, who gets another base hit. Misty Morning. Lenedy's going to steal, but gets thrown out by a country mile. Back to Morning, who is going to get one past the animations are so weird. Oh my god. I haven't done one of these in a few weeks, so I'm a bit rusty as Chris Cash Jr. strikes out here. Jimmy Sachs is going to ground out here. That's going to end the inning. Bottom fourth we go with Gary Love, who's going to strike out here. On your left, also strike out here. Tony DeVecchio, is we're going to see. And Dammer gets out of it, strikes out the side. So we go top of the fifth. Okay, Kingslayer is going to ground out to second. DeBlue is going to take a check swing, got him. Rex Jordan here coming up. Towering pop-up caught by the catcher. We go bottom fifth. Ben Martin grounded here to grounds out. Dominion the Goat strikes out here. Jennifer Park fly ball to left. It's going to be caught here that ends the inning. All right, top six we go with Robin Banks. Komatsu, their pitcher, still in. Pretty good outing for him, so Barnum's going to ground out the third. And Keon Lenedy is going to strike out here. Bottom six we go. O'Reilly's going to hit this baby deep and kiss that baby goodbye. Dead center shot for Cillian O'Reilly. Their 10th home run of the season and gives them a 6-1 lead. New pitcher in for the Wheelers. It's Bobby Winter. As he gives up but not a good start as he gives up a second pitch hit to Wacko Warner. Tony Sims Jr. has been called, but a pass ball is going to put Warner at second. Doesn't matter. Sims is going to stay cold with a strikeout. Here's Gary Love. That's going to get down for a base hit. Are they going to send? They're not going to send Warner from third. They're going to hold him there. On your left, that's going to be an RBI single there. Make it 7-1 against Anchorage. Delvecchio is going to check swing called. Strike 3. And Ben Martin's going to fly out to end the inning. As Morning is going to ground out there. I need to check this. Oh, wait. Oh, of course England survives, lol. Chris Cash Jr. is going to ground out there. Jimmy Sachs is going to fly out to right. Hit pretty deep, though. Bottom 7th we go. Stretch time. Dominion to Goat coming up here. He's going to ground out. Jennifer Park is going to drop one in for a base hit. As we're going to go to Cillian O'Reilly, who's going to ground out. Wacko Warner here coming up with a runner on. And that's going to score the run. That's going to make this an 8-1 ball game right here. Tony Sims Jr. That's going to drop for a base hit. Do they get him at third? No, he's safe. And Love is going to get one drop down. That's going to make it 9-1. And on your left is going to... there's a strikeout on your left. All right, top of the... Wheeler's got some work to do. Good start as Hannibal Kingslayer is going to take a walk. DeBlau is going to strike out here. Rex Jordan coming up next. He's going to ground it to first. It's a double play that's going to end the inning. Tony DeVecchio coming up here, who's going to strike out. Ben Martin. He's going to draw a 4-pitch walk. Dominion to go. Full count. That's going to be a base hit for him. That throw is slow to third. It's going to put Martin at third. Nope, only one out. 3-0 pitch. It's going to be swung at. Don't care. You just go anyway. Make it 10-1. New pitcher, Jared Buck yourself is in. And O'Reilly hits a deep drive to center, but it's going to be out, but it's going to be deep enough to make this 11-1. Here's Wacko Warner again. Fly ball to center. It's going to be caught. That's going to end the inning. Last chance here for the Wheelies, and they need a lot of work to do. Versus Robin Banks. Balaj the Bot has been in. Barnum next, who was going to ground out to third. Last chance, Keon Lenedy. He's going to strike out here, and the Dillos pick up a very convincing 11-1 win. Yeah, it was that grand slam that pretty much put it out of reach. 4 RBI day for Ben Martin. Multiple RBI day. There were no errors, by the way. So that means the under ends up winning. Kubatsu picks up the win. Dammer the loss. And Junichi Komatsu, the pitcher, picks up player of the game. I'm going to save real quick. So I can get these box scores out to you. I'm going to just scroll through. Providence is the first team to get to 60 wins with a 7. Aviators and Voyagers battling for that second spot in the division, trying to catch up to the Crabs. Sloths pick up a win. Pathfinders upsetting Vandals. Toros look like they're going to be the next team in line to get to 60 wins. Lunar Base picks up win. Nashville gets some much needed separation as they're trying to fend off Indy for that division. Death Valley close to being back around 500. Oh dear, you're losing the bots. You know what that means. That's the first time I've had to pull out this graphic again. For those who have not seen a stream with me, if you lose to the Ranas, you get the Kevin Brown graphic. So, you're arguing with the robots, you can't beat the robots. Alright, enough of the humor. Ranas win, Dillos win, we saw that. State College wins, Kingpins win. Alright. Game settings. Database. Export data to CSV files. And let's send box scores. And next on the docket is going to be a quick sim. So I'll let that box score thing go off real quick as we transition to finish today. And we got ourselves a quick sim as we're about to finish up the box scores going off. All right. Next up, we have a quick sim. So, autoplay all games today. So here we go with the quick sim. Crabs pick up the win, 8-5. Aviators pick up the win. Sloths and extras. Pathfinders and extras. Toros are now the second team to get to 60. Apex win. 200th home run for Slam. Yes, but Detroit picks up the win. Death Valley gets back to 500. In the minors, Dillos win. Lemurs win. Firehawks win. Hepcats win. Bears win. So a lot of parity in the minors this time around. I love to see that. Because after this is Bruce City and Chicago next up. So I'm going to let them take care of the prediction real quick as I will take care of the next. All right, let's finish today. And let's set up for Bruce City and Chicago. Again, another Uma. What? I mean, okay. I play Uma Musume, so I kind of know these names. It's been a recent trend where players, I think Xenos opened up this rabbit hole of players recreating his Umas. So, do we have a prediction up? Let me take a look. Will the next game, full game, be a blowout? Will there be a 4-run win? Or will it be less than 4-1? Bruce City coming in here with the best record in the minors, and also the team that my player, Vidal Valor III, last played on, won a championship there. I think Bruce City and Dame pretty much helped rediscover my love for this and helped me get me this job I have right now. So I'm gonna let this sit for a couple minutes to allow you guys to handle your predictions. All right, everything's running smoothly. I had to reboot my PC once, and we're all good. I ran into some problems earlier, but we're good now. For anyone who needs I don't need a backup today. All right, I think we're ready to. All right, we'll wrap this run to the beginning of the first. So let's get underway. Bruce City and Chicago. So, all right, let's get underway. With Calvin O'Shaughnessy, he's going to get a base hit, a leadoff hit here off Felix Burgess. Bob's big boy. And kiss that baby goodbye for Bob's big boy. Oh man, that was hammered to right. Make it 2-0 Bruce City. Here's career minor leaguer coming up now. One of my favorite names here in the minors. He's going to fly out to left. Servatori, he is going to ground out to third. Sackboy, full count, is going to draw a walk. Yes, no. Another favorite. I love all the Bruce City players' names. Who's going to strike out here? Yes, you're at bat. No, you also struck out. All right. Back to the Kingpins with Joe East. He's going to strike out here. Bobby McDonald the third. He's going to ground out to short. Sweet, sweet ganja smoke. Another favorite name of mine. He's going to ground out to the pitcher. So 1-2-3 inning for the Bears. Thomas Sankara. He's going to ground one. Oh, little dribbler. Just gets past the shortstop for a base hit. Yoshinori Akiyama. Another great name. Kind of reminds me of the name Jun Akiyama from Pro Wrestling Noah from the early days of that. Swiffer Sweeper's going to fly out to right. Back to the top of the order with O'Shaughnessy, who is going to get a force out second. That's going to end the inning. Obafemhausen coming up here. Uh-oh, looks like that third baseman must have been cursed, I think, because it's going to call a base hit there. Lazarus King. Is this a double play? Nope, just a force out at second. Sparky D coming up here. And that's hammered deep to right. And kiss that baby goodbye for Sparky D, who ties that game at 2. His third home run of the season. Toby Rodrigo, cold hitter. Good time to get out of your cold streak, son. You got yourself a walk. Bobby Mizza is going to strike out here. And here's the hot hitting Corey Wilson, who's going to get line out to the left field. All right, top of the third we go with Bob's big boy. He's going to draw a 4-pitch walk. Career minor leaguer. It's a pass ball. That's going to move big boy to second. And it's going to be a base hit for career minor leaguer. They're not going to send big boy. They're going to hold him at third. Here's Servatori. And it's going to be a force out at second, but the Bears are going to retake the lead as a result. Sack boy. He's going to draw a walk. Yes, no. Yes, you're at bat. No, you struck out again. Thomas Sancora. He's going to get past the shortstop. Oh, that's a weird little... What was that defensive arrangement? It's going to be 4-2 Bruce City as a result. Akiyama coming up here. They're able to get for the first in time. Bottom third, Joey strikes out here. Next is Bobby McDonald III, who is going to get the ball past the first baseman for a base hit. Sweet Ganja Smoke's going to draw a walk. Obafemhausen. Looks like the curse didn't work, buddy, because you grounded into a double play. Top of the fourth was Swiffer Sweeper, who is going to ground out to third. Calvin O'Shaughnessy back up, and he's going to ground out to the second baseman. Bob's big boy coming up here. Hits a low looper to third, but easily tracked there by Ganja Smoke. Bottom fourth, we go with Lazarus King drawing a walk. Sparky D, ground to third. This could be 2, and it is a double play. Rodrigo coming up here. Pop up there, going to be caught by the third baseman. Not right fielder. Oh my God. My mouth is all... My brain moves so fast, but my mouth moves slow. Career minor leaguer is going to strike out here. Servatori is going to ground out to the second baseman. Sack boy is going to draw a 4-pitch walk. Yes, no. Yes, you got on base, but no, you didn't get a hit. You got a walk. Thomas Sankara, fly ball to center, going to be caught there. So we go to the bottom of the fifth. Bruce City up by 2. With Bobby Mizza coming up to bat. And he's going to get a 4-pitch walk-off Maruzensky. Can this Uma stop stealing my runs? Corey Wilson strikes out here. Joe East. That's going to be over the first baseman's head. That's going to be a base hit. Runners at first and second with 1 out. For Bobby McDonald III. Fly ball to center is going to be caught. Not being able to advance any of the runners. Here's Sweet Ganja Smoke. Full count. And that is going to drop. 1 run's in. 2 runs are going to score. It's an RBI bases clearing double that's going to tie this game at 4. With Obafemhausen coming up here. And that's going to drop for a base hit. They're going to not... Ganja Smoke's going to get the stop single at third. He's not going to go. Lazarus King fly ball to center. It's going to be caught. The Kingpins tie the game. But can't take the lead here. Top of the 6th we go with Akiyama coming up here. And that's hit driven. Deep right field. And kiss that baby goodbye for Yoshinori Akiyama. His second home run of the season. And second RBI of the season. A recent addition to the Bears lineup. Gives the Bears the lead once again. New pitcher for the Kingpins. It's going to be Vin Von Vanovich. I said that right. And he's going to give up a hit to Swiffer Sweeper on his first pitch. O'Shaughnessy, more trouble here potentially, but it's a fly ball to left that gets caught. Bob's big boy. Pop up to the third baseman that's going to get caught. Career minor leaguer. That is going to... Oh! The left fielder couldn't get there. Out of reach. That's going to get to the wall. Tori has a chance to... And they are going to intentionally walk him here for Sack Boy. Is that a good decision? No, it is not. That's going to be 2 runs are going to score because of that. What's up with this game at bad decisions with intentional walks? With yes, no coming up here. And the hit parade's going to continue. Another run's going to score to make this 8-4 Bruce City. So if this holds, that blowout thing is good. Checo Perez is now in, and he's going to strike out Sankara. Bottom 6 we go. Sparky D is going to ground out the short. Rodrigo, full count, is going to draw a walk. Miza, pass ball that's going to move Rodrigo to second. Miza, he's going to take a call. It's strike 3. Wilson swings and a miss. So they get the early base runner, but they can't do anything. Top of the 7th, we go with Akiyama. He's going to draw a walk. Sweeper strikes out. O'Shaughnessy coming up now. Little dribbler. They can only get the force out at second. Bob's big boy. He's going to ground out the short. That's going to end the inning. Bottom 7th, we go with Joe Weiss coming up. It's a line out to third. And that's it for Morozinski. 7, 6 and a third. As Bob McDonald, the third, lines out to second. Sweet, sweet ganja smoke. That's going to get down for a base hit. Past the left fielder. It's going to be a stand-up double. Oba Femhausen trying to get a run back. And that's going to get to the gap. That's going to score a run to cut the lead down to 3. New pinch hitter, TJ George. But he's going to ground out to first. That's going to end the inning. Career minor leaguer coming up at the top of the 8th. Who's going to fly out to left. Servatori coming up next. He's going to ground out to short. Sackboy coming up next. He's going to ground to first, and that's going to end the inning. Bottom 8th, we go with Sparky D, who's going to get a base hit to start us off. Toby Rodrigo is going to strike out here. Bobby Miza. This could be a double play, but they can only get the out at first. Corey Wilson. That's going to get down. Is that going to be enough to... They're not going to send Sparky D. They're going to hold him at third. Joey's coming up here. And that's past the second baseman. That's going to be 2. That's going to score a run and cut the lead down to 2. Bobby McDowell the third. Pop up. Going to be caught there by the shortstop. Chicago slowly but surely clawing their way back in. Top of the 9th we go. Handle all these nuts. The pinch hitter is going to come in and get a base hit. Sankara. Fly ball to center is going to be caught. Akiyama is going to ground. Is that a double play? Yes, it is. Last chance here for the Kingpins. Ganja Smoke, Femhausen, and Jones. Salone Sinclair is in this game. Ganja Smoke hits a deep drive to center. Not going to be deep enough. Here's Femhausen, who's going to draw a walk. Tying run coming up to the plate here with Showtime Jones, who's going to strike out. Sparky G. That's through. And now the tying run is at first. Toby Rodrigo strikes out here, and the Bears are going to win by 2. So that means no blowout. So once again here, Bruce City picks up the win. Here's a look at your stats. Couple pinch hitters. Sparky D is your player of the game. And now I'm just going to briefly go for show off these box scores real quick. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. That's why. Count Crabula, who's been having a sensational season. All right, let's get you your box scores. All right. And let's see what our next thing up here is. It is an off day followed by a quick sim. All right, so it's time for the quick sim. So let's get ready to do that. All games today, and let's see what happens. Here's your look at some of your scores. I'm not going to show the Ron is Bob thing again. I've already shown it once. Oh, almost did something bad. Whoops. All right, we got two more stream games coming for you to wrap up today. We have Boise at Death Valley for primetime number 3 and Toronto at Nashville. So let's finish today. Save the game. And let's prepare for Death Valley and Boise. Both of these teams below 500 looking to try to potentially sneak their way in to the playoffs. Death Valley, not quite the same dominant team as they were in previous seasons. And Boise, of course, as a team on the rise, they just need a couple of players to develop, and then they're cooking. I gotta finish up eating. I'll take a quick break. Yeah, it was under 4 runs. It was Bruce City winning 8-6. All right. Bob Ross, could you get up the next prediction for this game, please? Before I get going, could you? I'm just gonna wait till he puts up a prediction and give y'all a couple minutes to. I've only been streaming for about an hour now. Yeah. The thing about what I'm doing here is that I'm pretty quick with this stuff. So, do you have a prediction up, or we're gonna run this game without one? Because both of these teams are pretty bad. Let's do a. All right, what do we got here? Will the next game have 2 home runs in 1 inning? I just want clarification. Is this for one team or is it for both? I assume this is combined. Is this correct? Just want to make sure. It is both in 1 inning. Okay. Thanks for the clarification because I just want to have the people know. We got one bet in for nope. I'm just going to let that sit there for a couple minutes. Okay. I think this has been up for a while. Nah, you're good. Alright, let's get going here. This game might go quietly as I need to rest my voice a little bit, if you guys are fine by that. I'll just keep an eye on, alright. I'm just, I'm gonna try to commentate, but my voice is kind of shot right now. I'll do it. Okay, here we go. Boise and Death Valley. We start with Meister picking up a hit here. Montalban. Meister's going to steal second. That's going to be a base hit for Montalban. That is going to score a run. That is going to be a double there. Here's a launch angle. That's going to get down for a base hit. That's going to make this a 2-0 ball game. And here's Stell coming up here. Folk. That's going to fly out to left. Bandit Healer coming up now. That's going to be a ground out, but it is going to move angle to third. Eucliffe. That's going to make this a 3-0 ball game. Things are spiraling out of control for Boise. Green Chiliquil fan is going to ground out. That's going to end the inning. Mercatak is going to come up now. That's going to strike out. Laser Show. That's going to drop for a base hit. Wallach coming up now. That's going to be a strikeout. Gothier is going to strike out. That's going to be the end of the first. Still Rule is going to ground out to first. Sluggerton is going to strike out. Mister back to the top of the line. That's going to ground out to the shortstop, and that is going to end the inning. Bottom second, we go to Cassius Considerations, who is going to that's going to be over the center fielder's head. That's going to make it a stand-up double. Next up is Rafael Furcal Jr., who is going to hit a fly ball to the left. It's going to be caught. That's going to move Considerations to third. Stavinsky's coming up now. And that's going to be past, tempted to be fielded by the third baseman, but that's going to be a run coming through. Be Matthews, towering pop up, going to be caught there by the third baseman. Here's Peter Dawson the third, who's going to strike out here. Top of the third, we go with Montalban coming up now, who is going to ground out the short. Launch angle coming up now, who's going to get down for a base hit. That's going to be a stand-up double for him. And here's a dangerous hitter in Stell coming up here. He's going to ground out to third. Bandit Healer coming up now. He's going to, that's going to get down for a base hit. Make this a 4-1 ball game right there. Stand-up double for him. Stingy Cliff now is going to hit this to right. That's going to end the inning. Bottom third, we go with Mercantoc. That's going to be ground out up to third. Laser Show coming up now. That's going to be a ground out. Rodrigo Lara coming up here facing a full count. It's going to draw a walk. Romain Gauthier. It's going to get hit. That pitch and went wild. And Cassius Considerations coming up now. Towering pop-up. It's going to be caught there by the shortstop to end the inning. Top of the fourth, we go with Chiliquil fan coming up now. And that's going to be line drive pop-up. Caught there by the diving shortstop. Rule coming up now. It's going to draw a walk. Slime Sluggerton. Past the first baseman for a base hit. They can't get the play first. It's going to be a stand-up double for Slime Sluggerton. And here's Mister coming up again. Fly ball deep to center. Should be deep enough to get a fifth run through. And now Montalban's coming up here. But it's going to be a ground out that ends the inning. But not before the Scorpions add another run to make it 5-1. Furcal Jr. coming up now, who's going to draw a walk on a full count. Stavinsky's. He's trying to bunt. But he's going to draw a walk. Bu Matthews coming up now. He's going to strike out here. Look. Peter Dawson the third. Full count. That's going to get past the first baseman. They try to throw home, not in time. It's going to be to cut the lead down to 3 with Mercantile coming up here. Fly ball. Oh, and the center fielder couldn't track it. It's going to be a 1-run ball game with that RBI double. Here's Laser Show coming up now. Mercantile is going to steal third. Here's Laser Show. He's going to draw a walk. Lanky Schramm now in the game for Death Valley. But Wallach is going to drive in that run home. Oh, I've seen this animation before. He got caught greedy at second. Bottom fourth would go with still in bottom fourth, but that's going to give the Raptors a lead with 6 runs and 7 hits. Ugh, bad meme. But consideration is going to strike out. Top of the 5th we go. Crazy game here. Launch angle is going to ground out. Stell coming up now. That's going to get down for a base hit. New pitcher in, and Ane de Lavu. Healer's going to fly out to left. Eucliffe also going to fly out to left. Bottom 5th we go. Rafael Furcal Jr. grounds ball to short. That's going to be the first out. Stavinsky's coming up now. Fly ball to the left is going to get caught. Boone Matthews. That's going to drop for a base hit. Peter Dawson the third. That's going to end the inning with a ground out. Top 6 we go. With Chillico fan. Fly ball to center is going to be caught there. You stole a rule. It's going to ground to first. Slime Sluggerton, full count. Flies out to left. So bottom 6 we go. With Burkentock. That's going to drop down for a base hit. Here's Laser Show. Mercantock's going to steal second. Second stolen base of the game. Good base job there as Laser Show is going to advance Mercantock to third on productive out. Wallach draws a walk. Goffey. Fly ball deep center. Should be deep enough to score Mercantock, and it will be. Make this 7-5. Cassie's considerations is going to draw a walk. For Cole Jr. That's going to be grounded to short. That's going to end bottom 6, but Boise had to never run to make this a 2-run lead. Meister is going to strike out here. Montalban. It's going to ground out here. Launch angle. I don't think we're going to see bottom 7 we go with Stavinsky. We're not going to see more than 1 home run in the same inning. Boone Matthews. I could be wrong here. Dennis Martinez now in for the Scorpions, who strikes out Matthews. Peter Dawson the third strikes out here. Mercantock. Little looper. It gets by. Laser Show coming up here. Little dribbler to short, but it's going to be there. Top of the 8th we go. With Stell coming up to the plate. Strikes out here. Bandit Healer. Draws a walk. Eucliffe. Pass ball, but the runner's not going to advance. Free out count, he's going to swing and fly up the center. Reed Chillico fan. Deep fly ball to the left, but it's going to be caught. Raptors trying to get some insurance here. Wallach, that's deep to center, and that's off the top of the wall. It's going to be... They're going to send him to third, and he's in there. Goffey. He's going to draw a walk. Cassie's considerations. Ground ball. It's a double play, but it is going to score the run. Furcal Jr., full count. He's going to line out straight to the third baseman. Last chance for the Scorpions, down 3. It's Romeo McFlourish in the game. Rule's going to fly out to left. Slime Sluggerton going to come in here and ground out. Meister is going to ground out, and that's going to do it. Boise picks up the 8-5 win. And looks like we have no home runs this game. So that means we did not have more than have 2 home runs there. So that means player of the game is going to go to Mercantoc. All right, let's pull up some box scores. Save the game real quick. Wild game in Outer Banks as well. All right, we're to the minors. We have a few scores checking here. All right, let's get the box scores out and prepare for the final game of the stream, which will be Toronto at Nashville. The entire side favoring Nashville. All right, we'll let a prediction come up here. Will there be a 4+ run frame? So we're going to have to watch closely. I'm going to watch closely and make sure if there's 4 runs scored in in any half inning. We'll see what happens. I'll let that sit for a little longer. Yeah, looks like for Bailey, looks like to answer that question about what the heck happened with OBX, it looks like you had a pitching optional game. This is per frame for either team. Thanks for the clarification. Okay, get the predictions in. You want to make sure you get a little bit of money. Not a lot of money throwing this thing. Are y'all just scared of betting or something? Alright, I guess I'll just get underway. Final screen game, primetime number 4, Toronto versus my Nashville Stars. Alright, we got, looks like Tugboat on the mound. Palindrome hot hitter is going to strike out here. Lucas Ryan strikes out here. Mosquito's coming up. He's going to take a call at strike free. So Tugboat strikes out the side. Biz Kitmaker is going to allow a walk to CJ Levine. And now some bum player named Vidal Val III is also going to get a walk. Slate Gray. He gets the pickoff throw. Double steal, but Valor's also going to steal as well. Slate Gray base hit down the line. Oh, God, what is this camera angle? Hang on a second. It's going to be a stand-up double to give him the lead, but hang on. Oh, great. This camera angle looks bad. Hang on. Oh, I gotta adjust it to the wide camera. There we go. That's better. Okay. Rainier is going to draw a walk there. There we go. I fixed it. Ford Lincoln Mercury's going to strike out here. And here's Bobby Briggs. He's going to strike out here. But not before Nashville, thanks to some speedy base running, is going to take a quick 1-0 lead. Here's Sebastian Prima. And that's going to be a fly ball to the left that's going to get caught. Cameron Squires. Fly ball to the left that's going to be caught. Paddington Von Pippington, cold hitter. He's going to hit a fly ball to right. That's going to get down, actually. Good throw from right, but it's not going to be enough. D Nice coming up here. He's going to strike out. 4 strikeouts for Tugboat today. We go bottom 2 with Michael Munson. And it's going to be a walk. 4th walk issued today by Kitmaker. Song coming up here. It's a drip fly by the left that's going to get caught. Jimmy Lumber. That's going to be a line drive. That's going to drop down for a base hit. Runners on first and second with CJ Levine coming up here. It's a bunt and it's a bad one. That's going to be a pop up. The Valor the third. Towering pop up going to be caught by first. So not very unlucky stuff for Nashville, but still up 1-0. McScooty Fortune coming up here is going to strike out here. Murder Dog. Fly ball to center. Should be easily caught there. That's a diving grab by yours truly. Palindrome. Hit well. That's going to be over the right fielder's head. Not sure what he was doing there. It's a young outfield out there for Nashville. Lucas Ryan, fly ball, popped up the center, easily caught there. We go bottom of the third with Slate Gray coming up here facing a full count. And he's going to draw a walk. JB Rainier is going to strike out here for Lincoln Mercury. That's going to get past the diving shortstop, and that's going to put runners on first and second with 1 out with Bobby Briggs coming up here. That's driven deep right, and kiss that baby goodbye for Bobby Briggs. And that's 3 runs in. A free run shot makes this a 4-0 game. Munson coming up here. He's going to strike out here. Young Song coming up here. It's going to be grounded first. That's going to end the inning. But Nashville gets some needed runs to make this 4-0. Mosquitoes up for the Pathfinders. It's going to be a pop-up caught there by the left fielder, Sebastian Primo. He's going to take a 4-pitch walk. Squires is going to get a base hit. That's going to put... That throw is going to be a little bit late. And can't get him at third. Von Pippington. That's going to get by. That's probably going to score 2. The only way they could do is get a cutoff throw, and that's going to cut the lead down to 2. D Nice coming up here is going to strike out here. McScooty Fortune. Called strike 3. 7 Ks for Tugboat. Bottom fourth, we go with Jimmy Lumber. That's going to be tossed up in the air, caught by the center fielder. CJ Levine facing a full count, and he's going to swing and a miss. The Valor the third coming up here. It's going to be grounded third. That's going to end the inning. Top of the fifth, we go with Murder Dog striking out here. 8 Ks for Tugboat. Palindrome, hot hitter. Make it 9 strikeouts for Tugboat. Lucas Ryan, not going to be a strikeout this time. It's going to be a fly ball to left that's going to end the inning. Bottom fifth, we go with Slate Gray coming up to bat. He's going to ground out the short to start us off. JB Rainier. That is going to be caught in right field for Lincoln Mercury. That's going to be line drive. Caught there by the shortstop. All right. Top of the sixth, we go with Mosquitoes. Fly balls deep to center, but over Vidal's head. Almost gets out there, but just couldn't get there. Sebastian Primo. Oh, that's going to be a fly ball to center. Caught this time. Cameron Squires coming up next. It's going to be a grounder to the pitcher, but easily relayed for the second out. Von Pippington facing a full count. And it's going to be called ball 4. D Nice. Fly ball to right out there, and that's going to go bottom of the sixth with Bobby Briggs coming up to bat. New pitcher, Fire Aaron Boone coming in. The usual closer for Toronto. It's moved up to higher in the relief duty. As Munson gets a base hit past the third baseman. Young Song coming up here. It's grounded third, but it will be a double play that will end the inning. Top of the seventh, we go with McScooty Fortune. Fly ball deep to center, not going to be deep enough. Murder Dog coming up there with 1 out. Swing and a miss. Tugboat has 10 strikeouts today. Here's the hot-hitting Palindrome. He's going to make a little contact, but it's not going to be enough as it flies out to center. All right. Bottom, I've been with Lumber grounding out the short. CJ Levine. 3-1. Probably shouldn't have swung there, but it's good out there. It's a bum named Valor the third. I swear they're not juicing these balls. Okay, Lucas Ryan. Zachary Vega the third's now in after a great outing there by Tugboat. He strikes out Lucas Ryan. Mosquitoes is going to strike out here. And Sebastian Primo coming up here. Fly ball to left. Should easily be caught there. Quick 1-2 free inning for Zachary Vega the third. Can Nashville add some insurance? Slate Gray. He's going to swing and get a ground out there. Rainier coming up next. It's going to get past the diving shortstop for a base hit. For Lincoln Mercury. Full count base hit. That's going to be... Oh, that's a dangerous throw. They can't get the out at third, so it's going to be a stand-up double for him. Bobby Briggs. It's a pass ball that's going to advance the runners, and there's the needed insurance run for Nashville. Save that Briggs. He's going to ground out, but it is going to score another run to make this a 4-run lead for Nashville. Michael Munson coming up here. Fly ball to center. That is going to drop for a base hit. Young Song coming up here. 3-1 count. It's past the first baseman. It's a base hit. It's going to be a double there. Jimmy Lumber coming up here. New pitcher jacked up. And it's going to get by. 1 run's in. 2 runs are in. And there's the 4-frame, folks. That's going to be a hit there. Jimmy Lumber drives and makes it 8-2 Nashville. So close that bet. It's officially an 0-4. Levine's going to draw a walk. And we interrupt this thing to give you a batted bat from Vidal Valor the third, who strikes out. Squires, fly ball. That's going to drop. That's off the top of the wall. Just missed a home run, but not by much. Von Pippington here. Ground, little looper to shortstop. That's going to be the first out. D Nice. He's going to ground out to first. Last chance here for the Pathfinders with McScooty Fortune coming up to the bat. That's going to drop for a base hit. That's going to cut the lead down to 5 on that RBI single. Murder Dog, full count. Fly ball to right, and that's going to do it. The Nashville Stars are going to take primetime number 4, 8-3. And everybody got burned. House always wins. All right, Tugboat picks up the win. Kip making the loss. Tugboat, player of the game. And then what that means, the final box score checks. Outer Banks has been playing with fire as of late. Another big run game for them. Vancouver wins. Litter Base wins. Apex walk it off in extras to avoid possibly being down 4 games in that division race. Voyagers remain tied with the Aviators in that division race as well. Providence lost, so the lead for them is only down to 6. So there's a few tight division races yet to be decided. New Orleans wins. Cancun right now is battling with the Crabs for the best record in the minors. Mingos win. Lemurs win. Hepcats win. Kingpins lose. Firehawks win. Swifties win. So we're going to save this real quick. We're going to go to game settings. We're going to send the last of the box scores over. So here we go. We did that. Let's pop this up. Let's go for the standings real quick. Real quick here, we have a couple things. Today we have the Crabs, Voyagers, and Aviators all punch their tickets to the playoffs. Cancun has clinched their division, it looks like. Yeah, they cannot. We're officially 99 games in the season of 108. So Toros have locked up the division and thus a playoff spot. The next teams in line to clinch are the San Antonio Sloths. Crabs have a magic number of 7 to clinch the division. Nashville 10 games away from clinching a playoff spot. Just taking a look at some of your home run and RBI leaders. And let's take a look at the minor league ones as well before there. Bruce City becoming the first team to punch a ticket to the playoffs. Despite having a shaky sim, they got to be careful because Louisville's right on their tail. 5 straight wins for them. And Anchorage is unfortunately the first team eliminated. So, you know what that means. It's time to let's do B. Yeah. Time to do the sim file upload. Let's do that. That's good. That's good. All right. Let's begin the file upload. All right. So we're doing that, which means it's time for the my favorite part of this. Yep, it's time for Ask the Booth as I run the upload right now. So, what questions do you guys have for me today? Question from Bob Ross asking, "What was the salad?" It was it's a garden salad mixed with pieces of leftover rotisserie chicken with some ranch on there. That's what I was eating right now. It was pretty good. From Bazooka Joe, he's asking for my plans. I think I'm going to be going down to, in Maryland, there's something called the East Shore. I'm going to be heading down there, spend some time with family down there. So, gonna probably spend some time with family. I got this, and then I got to record the DSFL sim for week 13 later tonight as well. Anyway, I did already show the stats for everybody before I began the file upload. So, does anybody else have any more questions for me? Because this file upload is going to take a while. Who has been your favorite rookie player? Can I be completely honest that I have not been watching the sim this much. That I have been mainly focusing on other leagues. Yeah, I don't have an answer for this one, unfortunately. I've been mainly just been watching right now the NHL trade, the free agency market. The biggest signing was Sergei Bobrovsky going to be signing with the Florida, leaving Florida for the Toronto Maple Leafs. All right. Any more questions? I know. A lot of you are shocked that Bob Ross, what team do you support? I actually have a couple teams. My main team is the Caps, but I've also support Tampa, Dallas, and Vegas. The Avs, they were pretty good, but he just got upset in the playoffs. Yeah, it's just uploading everything now. More the present. Yeah, it happens. He just ran into the President's Trophy curse. Yeah, this thing does take a while, at least for me. It depends on how fast your Wi-Fi is. Mine's a bit slower, so which is why it takes me a little while to upload it. Yeah, takes a while with all these reports for all the players and stuff. Any more questions you guys have for me today? Completely understandable. I'm just gonna go peek at the schedule real quick to see what we got. All right. So as it currently stands, with all the we're running the up ports now. Uh, we will see you get before we sign off. We don't have any more questions. Looks like it'll be Bazooka Joe, who was in the chat earlier. He will be running the stream tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, with Pepperfishes as co. The next time you'll see me streaming is next week. I may have to pick up one of the playoff streams. Probably, I might have to do 3 streams with the day one of the first round, followed by the semis, and then I got the Majors World Series next week as well. Yeah, not much time left with the fucking uploaded. I already showed all the standings, so does anyone want to make a prediction on who? I'm not saying do like on Twitch, but of who comes out of that each thing. We have a couple tight division races, particularly the we have the close race in the Champions East between the Apex and the Stars. I think Nashville will hang on, but I think the main reason it's close was Nashville was losing to a lot of teams they probably shouldn't have. So, yeah. Does anyone have any more questions before I sign off? All right, uploading the history part. All right, you have no more questions? with that, I'm going to say thank you guys so much for listening in. We got 2 more streams left in the regular season. If your team's going to make the playoffs, I recommend updating your player as soon as possible so you can maximize your TPE. And for those who are out of the playoffs, if you're in a rebuild, best of luck with that. I know they're long and painful, but you just got to be patient. That's the thing. But some people can last in a rebuild. Other users probably can't, so they prefer to get picked by a contender. So I already mentioned this in my PT that I wrote on the point task I wrote earlier. I said that it was going to be a tight race for. I think Providence will finish with the best record, and then Aviators second. Voyagers, the age is finally catching, and TP regression is starting to catch up with them. So you've dealt with much worse rebuilds than Buffalo. I mean, to be fair, Buffalo was coming off a pretty insane run where they went to 3 consecutive World Series with their duel with Death Valley, that rivalry. Yeah, you would have loved it. In my opinion. Like the thing is, compared to like let's say SHL, there's been a lot more parity compared to that league where it seems like the same teams keep winning. Not here in PBE because there's always a good chance compared to SHL where you will see an upset in an early round. Like we had multiple division winners not get out of the first round last season. Because it doesn't matter if you win your division. All you have to do is get hot at the right time, and then with the right decisions by your GM to it's all in the hands of the sim. Yeah, I think Buffalo is a couple seasons away from being back to being a contender again. You're right now just a bottom feeder in your division because right now you're in probably the toughest division to be in right now. With the Voyagers being good, the Aviators being good, and the Crabs arguably being the best team in the league. I always love to see a Cinderella run team because one time in the PBE, we did have a below 500 team make the playoffs and make it all the way to the World Series before eventually losing. Because my hot take is if you're below 500, you should not be allowed in the playoffs. Like, I wouldn't, like, if I was in charge, I would have made a rule saying that you're not allowed, and the team in the upper conference with a team with a record better with the next highest record that did not make the playoffs would get in. I mean, yeah, it would be controversy if that team ended up winning the World Series, but it was probably for the better that they didn't win. Yeah, this is one of the longer parts as well. Yeah, the salt would be hilarious. But the HO would have probably done what I would have said and just barred teams below 500 from the playoffs. Alright, I gotta plug in my phone, make sure it doesn't die. Hot take for next season of PBE. I think we're going to see a team that has not won a World Series in at least 15 seasons win a title. My hot take is the World Series next season. I don't think Cancun makes it. I think it's going to be. Let's just book it. I'm just going to book it right now and say Nashville Outer Banks is your World Series next season. That's my hot take. Yes, that's what I said. These two have previously faced in the World Series multiple times before in the early S. So let's be. So in my opinion, I think those two would make a good World Series matchup. Yeah, these file uploads take forever to do. Makes sense because the file. I mean, I could just cut the stream off now and then just do the index upload behind the scenes. I know I get bullied for the stream being done, and you're supposed to do it like before you finish up, but I do it usually behind the scenes. Yeah, just these take a while. Yes, that's pretty much why. To make sure that it was done properly. Alrighty. If nobody has any more questions, I'm going to. Looks like we're about to do the final part right here. We don't have that here. We always show it on. We show the changes being done for playoffs on here to prove that there's no rigging. I mean, why would somebody rig a sim? Like even in the ISFL, where I take part, we do the sim stuff behind the scenes. We always make sure that every change that is requested by the GM is done, and then the results are done, and then it gets recorded by somebody. It's a little bit of a behind the scenes process. We're very close to uploading the final upload soon, so I am going to prepare to grab the file code for the index upload. Once we're ready for that, I will do that. There we go. It's up. File upload is done. I will now begin the index upload. So that will be done. So I gotta make sure this was done. Just wait a little bit before the index fully completes its upload process, because it generates a text initially and then eventually loads up into the index. Oh, completely understandable. D&D stuff is pretty complex. I think too complex for me. Takes a lot of planning and like how you want to set up the whole thing. Like the setup part is the hardest part. Alrighty, it looks like our index is just about done. Let's check the date. Is it right? Yes, it is. That looks good, and that means we are done here. So I'm going to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. And we'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon with Bazooka Joe. And until our paths meet again, I will see you guys next week for the playoff streams. This is Valor signing off. Have a great rest of your day.